Now, if you've been hit with that "I want a divorce" bombshell, your head is probably spinning faster than an aged fidget spinner from 2017. It's a tough time, no doubt about it, but it's not the end of the world. So let's get into the first 5 things you should do right now to protect yourself, your family, and your future. And first things first, be sure about your decision. I know you're thinking, I didn't ask for this. I don't want this. But hear me out. It's critical to take a step back and consider your option. Know that in most places around the world nowadays, there's such thing as no-fault divorce, which means you don't even have to consent. So there is a reason they've come to you. Do not try and use force or intimidation to try and change anyone's mind. Before anything else, ask yourself, have you really tried to do everything to reconcile? Have you had an honest conversation about how you feel? Have you asked what the problems they have with your relationship? Would you both change things for the better? Are you willing to try couples counseling? Now, I mention these because it's not about clinging to a relationship that's over. It's about making sure you've explored all avenues available to you and that you're making an informed choice rather than just reacting to a decision. It's critical for your own recovery and will help prevent future regrets. Number 2, get a strong support system. And not everyone has friends and immediate family that can help them. But going through a divorce can be emotionally draining, and you can feel more isolated. Tom Hanks in Castaway. Don't try and go through this alone if you can. While family and friends might be well-meaning, they often bring about their own biases and preconception. Seek the help of an independent professional, like a psychologist or a counselor. They can provide unbiased perspective and give you a safe space to process your feelings and your ideas. You may also find that there are online communities, support groups, and validation from others who might be able to help you with what you're going through. These connections can be a lifeline throughout this difficult time. Remember, it's okay to lean on others. No one expects you to handle this completely on your own. Number 3, financial information. Now, inevitably, with most divorces, there ends up a property settlement. So it's really important to understand both your financial situation and that of your partner. You need to understand it's critical to start gathering all of that paperwork right now. Firstly, start with your bank statements, mortgage statements, credit card debts, store debts. Collect your pay slips, your tax returns, any superannuation or 401k statements. Detail all of your assets, whether they be cars, jewelry, gifts, even if they're not in your name. Understand where your money's coming from and where it's going. Understand what's valuable that you have. Then do the same thing for your partner. Take particular care to note any lump sums that you've received during your relationship. Gifts, inheritances, redundancy packages, compensation, or any other large financial transactions. Similarly, while it's very tempting, don't try and hide any assets or any money. It won't work and will most likely lead to severe consequences in court. It's also really important to be on your best behavior. Don't hack into your spouse's email or bank accounts or open their mail. That's a big no-no and could last you That's a big no-no. If you can't find everything you need, you can always get your lawyers to have this handed over in discovery later. Then it's on your partner to provide you with this. Number 4, don't expect your ex to be reasonable. Okay, this is a tough one, but it's also so important. You can't control your spouse's behavior, and it's not your job to. You probably won't be able to change how you feel about their decision. What you can control is yourself. Realistic expectations of your partner's behavior is setting yourself up for disappointment and even more stress. Try and focus on being the most reasonable and calm person you can be, even if they're not. And let's be honest, the breakdown of a marriage can bring out the worst in some people. If you're dealing with someone who has a track record of hostility, competitiveness, or unreasonableness, try not to react to their behavior. I know it's hard. It's really hard. Number 5, you should be seeing a lawyer. You should be seeing a lawyer like yesterday. The single biggest mistake people make is waiting too long to get legal advice. They make decisions and perform actions that aren't in their best interest because they don't know what the law is. You need to speak to a specialist family lawyer as soon as possible, even before you separate. This should be seen as a non-negotiable. Even if you can't afford a lawyer, you may be able to find free services in your area, or alternatively, you may be able to negotiate with a lawyer for payment upon settlement. It could mean a big difference into whether you see your children, if you have any, how many funds you're left with, and the whole stress of the whole experience. A lawyer not only will guide you through your legal rights and entitlements, it will help you avoid making any hasty decisions that you may later regret. They can explain the family law processes and advise you on your likely outcomes if you do end up in court. If you seek legal advice early, your lawyer may also explain to you your alternatives to court and help decide the best way forward. Don't rely on your past experience of divorce, what your friends or your relatives tell you, or what you've seen on TV. Family law is complicated. Every person's situation is different. Family law is also very different now than it was 20 years ago and differs from state to state and country to country. Get advice that's tailored for you, for your specific circumstance. So there you have it, the 5 things you need to do straight away if your partner asks you for a divorce. So to recap, 1, be sure about your decision. Really reflect if reconciliation is possible and reflect on your own behavior. Get a strong support system in place. Don't do this alone. Gather your financial information. Make copies and store them safely. Record the information that you can and that you know about while you remember it. Keep notes if you can think of anything later. Also note down what you know of your partner's financial circumstance. Don't expect your spouse to be reasonable. Focus on your own behavior and your own reaction. And 5, go find a lawyer and go find one now. Get expert advice as early as you can. This isn't going to be easy. You absolutely can and you will get through this. Focus on taking things one step at a time and remember, you're not alone. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. For more legal advice, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more legal information that doesn't require a law degree to understand. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I read all of them and try to do my best to answer them. If you'd like to contact me or discuss your situation, please use the contact information in the video description or visit LawBlender.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.